Hi, I'm Teresa Ferrantino, and I am here today to show you how to fill up VOA vials for VOCs and for VPH. There is a technique to it, and hopefully after you see this, it'll help everybody fill them up correctly to meet data enhancement and Connecticut RCP protocols. If you're sampling for VOA vials for soil, you would have 3 vials. You would have 1 methanol vial and 2 sodium bisulfate vials. The methanol vial that we give out have 2 lines on the vials. On this vial, you would actually fill the soil up to this line, which would bring the methanol up to the second line, and that's proper sampling for high-level VOCs. For the sodium bisulfate vials, you would fill up the line. The line is much lower on the sodium bisulfate vials, but you would fill the soil only to that line, always leaving some sodium bisulfate above the soil. And that does go for the methanol vial also. You should always make sure that you leave a little bit of either the methanol or the sodium bisulfate above the soil. You don't want to saturate your sample. Methanol vials require 15 grams of soil. As you can see, we filled up the methanol vial to the very first line, which rose the methanol to the second line. And that's where we want to see it, to the second line, the methanol. A little less, a little over should be okay because we can't adjust in the lab, but this is the correct way to sample a methanol vial. Sodium bisulfate vials and DI water vials need 5 grams of soil. See, they're both filled right to the line. This vial here is similar to the sodium bisulfate vial. This just has DI water in it, also with a stir bar. The line is exactly the same, at the same point as the line on the sodium bisulfate vial. However, in the state of Connecticut, they emphasize on using this kind of vial. This has just DI water in it, and what you would do is fill it exactly the same way as you would a sodium bisulfate vial, but it would have to be frozen within 48 hours. So you'd have to keep that in mind and get that back to the lab and have it frozen within 48 hours. And with all of these vials that have soil in them, you absolutely need a dry sample for percent solids. And that's the proper way of sampling VOCs for soil. I'm going to show you the proper technique on filling VOA vials for water. This is a VOA vial for water. Okay, and a lot of times we get VOA vials that you think are full and they're actually not. And the way to tell this is by turning it upside down and seeing if there's a bubble in there. That's an air pocket. And this one here was filled incorrectly, and this is what we do find. And this is how you are going to properly fill a vial. You're going to fill it so it actually looks like it's going to overflow. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually overflowing. And you put the cover on, and the only way that you can tell if you filled it up properly is to turn it upside down and see that there are no air bubbles in there. And at that point, with no air bubbles, it's properly sampled. You should submit 2 vials for every VOC water sample that you take. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions on these sampling techniques, please call us at 413-525-2332. Thank you.